This is the Race model RLRZ. We call it the Race Razor. What I'm going to demonstrate in this video is how to take a roll of labels off and put a new roll of labels on. So I've already removed this hardware on both ends of this roller. So I'll show you how they go back on though. Anyway, you loosen this collar, lift it out, remove the black retainer disc, remove the roll of labels. Now to put it back on, put the new roll of labels back on, and then do everything basically in reverse. Black disc back on, the silver collar, and you tighten that collar back up. Then this roller goes back in. You put the nylon washers on the inside of the uprights here, and then 2 nylon rollers on each end, 2 stainless steel washers on each end. Tighten the wing nuts, and you tighten these rather snugly. You don't have to be ridiculous about it, but just make them nice and snug. Now you can see the paper is pulling from the top, and that's the way it should be. And to thread it now, you bring the paper back and bring it above this roller right here. So it'll actually be between this roller and this roller. And then it goes under and starts coming forward on the machine. Now this you have to pull up with your hand and hold it up, because this is a tensioner. And that tensioner keeps good tension on this, and it also allows this machine to label non-roll stock. So coming towards the right, you go underneath this all thread here, come underneath this roller, you come underneath the black roller, then you bring it up between the black roller and this roller here, the small guide roller, and then it comes forward and comes underneath the separator plate, the thing with the ruler here, and then goes back to, this is the take-up roller. What you do is just tuck it under itself here, and it'll tighten itself up, and now you're threaded. As it's advancing through the machine here, you'll see the labels start to come out. This is the indicator bar. This tells you when to stop rolling the crank or turning the crank here. So the labels are coming, and then just right here you'll see the first label peek out. Now you want no part of the label showing, so you can just turn it back a little bit right there, and I'm going to apply 2 labels to each bottle here, and it's got a rear indicator, and we're going to we want that to be the rear label to be right there. So anyway, I'm using a seam to indicate right here. It's about 1 inch past the indicator. Turn the roller, you can see it comes to the seam right there. That means the front label is applied. And now I'm going to bring this to indicate right off that dome. There's almost always something to indicate off of on a label. And I'll apply the back label. What that does, gives you the proper gap. You're between the seams, which is where you want to be, and the labels are perfectly applied. I'll show you this one more time. Into the machine. indicating off of this seam about an inch from there. It's really easy to visualize that. Turn the crank, bring it to the indicator. Now, going a little too far there. I'm indicating off that, what's on that label right there. There's almost always something to indicate off of. Apply the back label. And these bottles are labeled. The seams are running right down the middle of each label. And your back label is right on the middle of the rear indicator notch, which is exactly where it's supposed to be. Now this reel right here takes up the used paper. When this gets kind of full, you will simply loosen the brake over here a bit and just overhand that into a wastebasket that you've got on the floor. It's very easy to do. It takes about 1 minute. Other than that, all the rest of these things here this is a guide roller, and it's got guide donuts you set to accommodate your labels. This is the separator plate. This separator plate has a rounded edge, which we're using right now. This edge up here is a sharp edge for real thin labels. And then this is your bottle stop, and this is a seam indicator or a gap indicator. And other than that, that's about it.